The Bostonian is Matt Perrault.
This is our city.
The book is Dave Sharapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are the Bostonian versus the book.
You covered 12. Covered!
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus the book.
How do you like them apples?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sharapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
Happy Wednesday, guys. What's up? Welcome in to another episode of the Bostonian versus the book. He is Dave Sharapan. I am Matt Perrault. We are live on YouTube and on Twitter X at Boston versus the book. Replayed on Sports Grid Television. I'm having a lot of fun rewatching the show on Sports Grid. Every single night this week, I'm learning a lot about the way the show flows. I'm taking notes. I'm literally watching things with a notepad. I'm writing stuff down. It's a lot of fun. Thank you for you guys who are watching the show on Sports Grid. You watch Dave every night on Sports Grid with Scott Wetzel for In-Game Live. I'm on the weekends with Joe Ranieri doing stuff for In-Game Live. Sirius XM, not forgetting about you guys. 159 channel. 159, and on the audio podcast, seen a big bounce. I don't know if you guys are now listening more or what, but we've seen a lot of new people, a lot of numbers come up with the audio podcast. So don't want to forget about you guys who are listening to the show on audio, whether it be Spotify or Apple Podcasts, wherever you guys get your podcasts. We're on every platform you can find us. Dave, you're wearing the Angels stuff. They've scored 7 in 4 innings on the Red Sox. 7. Lucas Giolito, 5 guys to the plate, and all 5 guys reached base to start the game.
1, it's good to see you. 2, I love the Angels stuff. This goes way back for me. I was an Angel fan back in the late 80s. Wally Joyner, Chuck Finley. This goes way back. So it's not personal. It never is. But man, oh man, what a bad start that was today. And I was like, I was already had it on and I went, man, he's going to be.
But hold on.
They're coming back.
They scored 5 in the bottom of the first.
Yeah.
And then they gave up 3 in the top of the second.
Right.
So, yeah, it's 7-5 Angels currently at the moment at Fenway Park. So Boston trying to avoid being swept by the Angels. Getaway day game today here at Fenway Park. Red Sox have the worst starting pitching in baseball.
Man.
And if you take Garrett Crochet off of that rotation, it really is the worst starting rotation in baseball. Lucas Giolito was awful today for the Red Sox, but the Angels aren't doing much better themselves. So not good. Not good.
You know who did win 3 games in a row?
It's not over yet.
Yeah,
it's not over yet.
Rockies did it.
It's done already?
Rockies won.
Oh, my gosh.
Rockies won 3-2, held on, beat the Marlins. So they win 3 games in a row. The June win total was 9.5. They already got 3. Good for them. Complete the sweep. Big plus, as big of a plus, then a lower plus today. I mean, the thing closed almost 145, but it opened a lot lower than that. So the Rockies do it first time all season. They've won 3 games in a row. There is now 1 team left in Major League Baseball who has not won 3 games in a row this season. Do you know who it is?
A's?
Nope.
Not the Pirates.
Huh. Damn it.
Pirates? Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
The Pirates haven't won 3 games in a row yet.
Correct.
I mean,
how annoying is that?
I don't know if it's annoying or just kind of like, what are we doing?
What are we doing?
Wow. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Yee.
So we'll address bad baseball
at the top, because what happened last night, well, it happened today, but it happened last night. Dodgers and the Mets. Another show. Fun game. Max Muncy ties the game in the bottom of the 9th inning. Dodgers go on to win the game in extras 6-5. Are these the 2 best teams in the National League, in your opinion?
Pause. The Phillies are there. Okay. And pause. Our Midwest friends would say the Cubs are right there. But this has been 2 back-to-back extra inning games. Star power, everything you could ask for. Pitching, late inning heroics. I guess, role players, but they're all stars. Muncy stepping up last night, hitting 2 bombs. It's good. It's a lot of fun to watch, which, by the way, I think we have to celebrate that it was on TBS last night, so it was not blacked out. Because, the Dodger games are blacked out. Like tonight is on MLB Network. It's going to be blacked out here. We're not going to see the Dodger.
Who had it?
TBS.
Oh, so it was national. That's why.
It was national. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because they still black it out.
Well,
I get every night I turn on my TV set to find out whether I get the A's, Giants, Dodgers, or Angels.
Yeah.
And it's literally no rhyme or reason. It feels like it's literally just like someone shakes a magic 8-ball and says, you're getting the Giants tonight. Okay.
Right.
And you're getting the A's tonight. Okay. It feels like there's no rhyme or reason for why I get to watch the West Coast teams because of the stupid MLB blackout rules.
It's so frustrating, and I feel like it could be fixed with just someone going, you know what? Let the people watch the games. It doesn't seem that hard. I tweeted something yesterday about the cost of what it's going to be to watch NFL football with all the different things that you have to get,
right,
and find and watch. And I mean, I guess you can get them all on your TV. We've talked about this many times. I like watching stuff on a television as opposed to an iPad or a phone.
It's fair. You're not alone. You pay a lot of money for your TVs, and they're 80 inches for a reason. So I get it. I would agree. I would agree with that. I think that's important. My anger comes from so the Red Sox are playing the Angels right now. I pay for the package, the MLB package.
Yeah.
And I can't watch the Red Sox because they're playing the Angels.
Yeah.
And the Angels are blacked out locally here in Las Vegas.
Right.
How is that logical? Why am I blacked out from watching a team from Los Angeles playing on the East Coast when I'm living in Las Vegas? That just has to stop. In 2025, that has to stop. We have to stop. We're not, it's not 1995 anymore. This idea of blacking out. I mean, the NFL learned it. Blackouts were dumb. Get rid of them. And now blackouts are getting, either you watch it on your local channel, which I'm fine with. If you force me to watch it locally, I don't care. Just give me a way to watch it. Baseball, there is no way to watch it because I don't have access to the California network that carries the Angels. So what are we doing? You have to give me an option. They're like, you can pay extra. I'm like, I already pay you $25 a month. Yeah, you pay another $25, then you can watch your local channels. Wait, I got to pay you $50 a month?
Yeah.
To watch baseball games?
So the chat's flowing because people are asking. Yes, guys, Las Vegas is in 6 markets.
6.
Okay? 6 markets, team-wise. San Diego, the Angels, the Dodgers, the Giants, the A's, and the Diamondbacks.
And missing one, the Rockies.
Well, I didn't.
Still, I'm just saying
it's 6. I don't think it's the Rockies because they're not on anything.
They're on. What do you mean? Fox
we
Sports
still get those games.
We don't get the Rockies games. I don't.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's the only time we can see Fox Sports Midwest. Before, I guess, it changed now because they went local. The Vegas Golden Knights took it over, but Vegas was on the same channel that the Rockies were on, and Vegas had to be playing. Then they gave us access to that network.
Right.
Now Vegas does things over rabbit ears, and they've changed and done what a lot of teams in Phoenix are doing, which is going backwards to over-the-air broadcasts. But those are the markets that it makes zero sense they get to black it out because folks in the Midwest, you guys know this because Des Moines, Omaha, a lot of these Midwest cities, mid-sized Midwest cities have the same problem because Omaha is claimed by multiple markets. It's claimed by Chicago. It's claimed by Kansas City as, quote, secondary markets. Des Moines was the same way. Chicago claims Des Moines. Kansas City claims Des Moines. So, it's ridiculous. In 2025, we shouldn't be doing this anymore. Like, it just doesn't make any sense as to why this is. Yeah, I mean, but Rocky knows exactly what I'm talking about. I was the same way. Makes no sense in today's world. It makes absolutely no sense because streaming illegally is available, and I can't tell you how many times I'm streaming illegally.
Right.
Go watch baseball games because I want to watch it because I've bet it, and I'm like, oh, I turn on the Giants game, and I'm like, oh, it's blacked out in Vegas. Why? Why is it blacked out?
Yeah.
And then you have to go find an alternative way of doing it.
Geez, Vic Ferrari in the chat as usual. I couldn't watch the Fever game last night, even with having the FanDuel Midwest package. These things have to be fixed at some point because I don't know, man. People are just going to stop watching sports. They're just going to stop. They just can't find it. You're like, you know what? I'll see the highlights. I'll watch it on my phone. I'll watch the score bug. You know,
Or
I'll watch it through the sports book.
Or they'll stream it illegally.
Or they'll do that.
Yeah, they'll just go ahead and find ways to do it.
Yeah.
To find alternative ways of doing it.
Yeah.
Wow. That's 6-1 already. So my under's dead already. Wow. Milwaukee.
For what?
I bet the under from Milwaukee and Cincinnati. We're 7-1. So I'm still alive technically, under 9. So let's see how that rolls. But 6-1 in the bottom of the 8th with 2 outs. So as long as we gotta survive 7 more outs here to get that under 6-1. The Brew. Here they go. We mentioned it. The Rockies won the first 3 games. They won a road series for the first time in 22 series.
Yep.
23 series. They had lost 22 straight dating back to 2024. Now, going into today, the Rockies had a record of 11-50. They're now 12-50. But that tied the worst 61-game mark in MLB history with the Red Sox of 1932 and the Senators of 1904.
Mm-hmm.
They're on pace. This is a big jump for them to go from, 9 wins to 12 over a 3-game period. So at least they're showing a little bit signs of life. But the team is still on a historic pace.
Without a doubt. And 3 games in Miami in front of 12 people over the course of 3 days isn't going to change that.
No.
But at least it's encouraging that it doesn't have to be all losing. Now, we went through the schedule. Thought it'd be hard to win 5 games. They already got 3. So that's
huge.
Yeah, that's a good start to that prop bet. Still, the total was 9.5 that DK put up with under -120. I don't know. Does this mean they're going to win 10 games?
Josie Myers, they had won 3 road games all year.
They just
June.
doubled that up.
So, yeah, it's a miracle on ice type of thing. They're the worst team in the history of baseball at the moment. They just tied the worst 61-game stretch, and that's with them winning 2 games. They won 2 games, and they tied the mark for the worst 61-game start in MLB history. They had lost one of those games, they would have been behind it. They would have set the record for the worst 61-game start in MLB history.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of is. Joe the Fat Panda, they could win out and they might not win the NL West. Pretty good point. They could win. They could go 120-0 and still maybe not win the division.
Well, 50 losses would.
And they're still on pace for 29 wins. They're still on pace for, even after the 3 games. They're still on pace to win 29 games.
Jeez.
So we spent a lot of time bashing the Rockies and bashing bad baseball teams. We now have to talk about the A's. Because while the Rockies are hot, winning 3 games in a row, the Sacramento A's have now lost 19 of 20. The 1-19 stretch is the worst in franchise history since the 1943 Philadelphia A's had a stretch in which they went 1-24. The A's have been outscored by 97 runs over the last 20 games.
Say that again. They've 20 games, 97 runs.
That is an average of 4.85 runs a game that they are being outscored by. It is unreal how bad this team currently is. Their pitching staff has allowed at least 8 earned runs in 6 straight games, tying a streak set in 1936 by the 1936 Philadelphia A's. I mean, this is unprecedented stuff. The Twins and the Blue Jays have scored 59 runs in the last 6 games against A's pitching.
What do you do with that?
59 runs in 6 games.
What do you do with that?
That's softball. That's beer league softball stuff.
That's really, really hard. Again, like from the gambling angle of it.
Overs every single time.
That's it.
Keep on betting. They hung a 9.5 today. I bet it immediately. I couldn't believe it.
I know.
I was like, you aren't going to give me 9.5, are you? Yep, 9.5. The Twins have scored 10 in the first 2 games of this series. And the A's can score. The A's have offense. So it's not like they're just completely anemic at the plate. They can hit home runs.
Right. Where are we at with this right now?
This is crazy. Like it's absolutely, it's just short of
it's
10
painted
runs.
10 now. Yep. It's painted 10. There's
okay.
No more 9.5. That wasn't the right number.
Yeah. 10.5 is the number. Not 10. 10.5.
Well,
3,
again,
10, 4. They've scored 13 and 14 runs combined in the first 2 games of this series.
Thank the Minnesota Twins.
Sure. But the Blue Jays too. Blue Jays scored 12, 11, 8, and 8 in their 4-game stretch against them. So it's Toronto as well.
Who's the Blue Jays had the hangover, with the Phillies yesterday. They didn't score it. I mean, they scored a couple runs late, but they only had one.
Oh, I needed it late.
Man, that almost would have been an unbelievably bad beat.
6-0 in the first inning and then have it go under. Oh,
yeah.
That would have been brutal.
The in-game total went up to 15.5 after that first inning, too.
It should have been.
That's one of those
I
opportunities.
mean, what it fell? It fell 14, didn't it?
11, 8-3 final.
Oh, 8-3 final. Okay.
Yeah.
We had 2 solo shots late.
Yep.
That kind of pushed it on that.
Bryce Harper came back in a home run in the first inning. I was like, oh, boy, here we go. And then the rest
Trey Turner hit 2.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
the rest of the order was hitting, and it was just like, okay, that's bad. Start.
I don't know if it stinks, Lean. It's just against the Phillies, it hasn't been great, but against the A's, it was outstanding. Again, 12, 11, 8, and 8 over a 4-game period. I wouldn't say it stinks. They're a little banged up. They got some injuries. We talked about yesterday a little bit about the injuries that the Blue Jays are facing at the moment. That's a little concerning going forward for them as to how healthy will they be going into the summertime. But this is I couldn't believe it was 9.5 today. I was like, what are we doing? That's a gift. If you're betting baseball today, we'll get to it and better to book it, but that's a gift. So at 19 losses in 20 games, the A's, season over? Do you just go ahead and flush the year if you're the Sacramento A's?
What are you doing anyway?
You're 11 games out. The one lucky thing is that the Astros are only 33 and 27.
Right.
They're not running away with the division. So, and they've won 7 out of 10. So they've now taken over first place. Seattle's 32 and 27.
Right.
But the A's have a negative 123 run differential. By far the worst. Second. By far the worst in the American League. Second worst, only the Rockies at 181 from a negative run differential is worse.
So bad.
They're 9 and 21 at home, Dave. 9 and 21 at home for the A's.
Hold on, I got something here.
And here's the problem for the A's. Remember that both the Tampa Bay Rays and the the Sacramento A's, MLB played with their schedules to give them more home games early to avoid the heat and humidity of Tampa and Sacramento.
Yeah.
So they've played a lot of home games. They're going to be on the road a ton in the second half of the year.
I got this here since May 3rd. It's one calendar month. The Twins have won 20 of 27 games. That's officially the best record in baseball.
Red hot.
So in the last 20 games, they've surrendered 47 home runs. So in that same time frame,
The A's?
yeah, they surrendered 47 bombs. In the
Holy-
same time frame, basically since May 14th, the Dodgers with 36 are the only team to hit more than 30 homers. So they've given up 47.
Wow.
I mean, none of this makes any sense.
How did that, by the way, how did that just happen? How did the Brewers just score 3 runs in the 9th inning?
Still hitting.
Meaningless baseball. 6-1. The Reds give up a 3-run bomb in the top of the 9th to kill my under 9. What is that?
That is baseball.
That is horrible. What is that? 6-1. There's no need to give up 3 runs there. No. I mean, what are we? I'm due to have a bad beat type of day because it's been a very good week. So I've started June red hot. So I'm due to have a bit of a cool off period. It's never good when your ace is mentioned in the same category as 2000 Pedro Martinez, Boston Red Sox ineptitude, because any Red Sox fan will tell you that in 1999 and 2000, the Red Sox consistently would blow amazing performances by Pedro Martinez. In 99, the year the Red Sox had the All-Star game at Fenway Park and Pedro pitched in the All-Star game, he was the best pitcher I've ever seen. That's the best season of anyone I've ever seen throw the baseball. He was unhittable. The entire city stopped. It was Pedro Day. Everybody watched. Everybody was at their TV or at the game. The city was electric when Pedro pitched at Fenway Park in 99 and 2000. Well, unfortunately for Paul Skenes, he just became the first pitcher since Pedro in 2000 to lose 2 starts in a year with 8 or more earned runs, giving up 1 or less
innings pitched.
Sorry. Thank you. 8 or more innings pitched. Sorry. 1 or more or less runs, 1 or less walks, and 8 or more Ks.
Yeah. How's it possible?
3-0 loss last night.
Watching a game, and I'm on Sports Grid with Wetzel, watching it. I have under 7, which is good. Going, okay, seems safe. Offensively, there's nothing left to say. There's just nothing left to say. No run support, literally. Pitch great. I don't know. He's got some pitch now that goes in on right-handers from a
screwball.
It is, but it dives down too. It's fascinating. He's been working on something. I don't know. McCullers pitched good.
Mm-hmm.
The Astros are in first place for the first time all season today. When you wake up, they're in first place. So I don't know, man. I'm bummed out, like that guy says on that thing that Gumpy uses.
Mm-hmm.
I am bummed out. There's no the talk of him being traded is so loud. They're really saying it now in the media. Even to the point where last night Jess asked me, because it was on her social media. She's like, boy, the Pirates lost again when Skenes pitched. And I'm like, yeah. And they got shut out. Yes. And you're just like, this can't continue.
But it's professional sports, right? So Paul Skenes going out there, you could say it's a frustration from Paul Skenes' standpoint to go and pitch like this, to lose, as Santana points out, 3 starts, going 8 or more innings, 0-3. Skenes has never won. The Pirates have never won when Skenes goes past the 8th inning or into the 8th inning, into the 9th inning. That's a frustration, but he's a professional athlete, right? He's paid to go out there and play and perform, and he's doing what he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
If his team can't pick him up, yes, that stinks, but I don't get the sense that Paul Skenes is clamoring to get out of Pittsburgh. He's not the type to go do a lot of social media type stuff and comment. I'm sure he's frustrated with the team's performance, but I don't get the idea of saying, well, you have to trade him. Well, why? You need to build around him, but that means ownership has to spend the money. You have a cornerstone. You've got a couple of cornerstones on that roster. It's about adding talent and building the talent out. but ownership doesn't want to spend. And thus you have guys like Ben Cherington, the GM, has to come out and say, we're not trading Paul Skenes. And all that does is hype it up even more that there could be a trade potentially coming for Paul Skenes. So I don't think he's going anywhere. I don't think the Pirates can exist if they give up on him right now. Like, I think fans, when you have fans going to the ballpark and chanting, sell the team, this is like trading away Luka. Like, you can't trade away this guy and expect Pirate fans to show up and not be apoplectic for what you've done.
Let me double check what the attendance was last night, because it's May, or no, it's early June. School's still in. So it was a school night, essentially. It looked like there was a lot of. Oh, it says there's 15,000 at the ballpark last
I buy
night.
it. Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not.
I would have guessed under 10 when I saw.
I mean, that's
picture.
paid though.
I know.
Remember, paid versus actual are two different things.
Yes.
Could be a lot of paying customers dressed up as empty seats.
Yeah. It didn't really. I mean, Joe the Fat Panda said it looked half full. It did. It looked less than half full to me. So I don't think he's going to clamor for it either. I mean, he's just showing up and pitching. He's the Cy Young favorite. Did you look at these Cy Young odds today yet for Skenes?
Is he minus money now?
I didn't look. I'm going to look right now, because yesterday we talked about it. If he pitched well, which he did, but he didn't get the win. He was plus 110 before the game.
Plus 110 yesterday, and now Skenes is minus 125. So you're right. Last time to get him was yesterday at plus money, unless he has a couple of really bad starts. He has, plus 440 is Yamamoto. That's the next nearest pitcher to Paul Skenes in the Cy Young market. So we got basically a $5 difference between Skenes and Yamamoto.
And who's 3 and 4 in that list?
Number 3 is Zach Wheeler, 11-1. Logan Webb, 12-1.
Wow. Boy, that Wheeler one's going to be around.
Scooble's got even a bigger lead. Scooble over Hunter Brown, it's minus 160 to plus 750.
Yeah.
And that's Crochet, too. He's 750, Hunter Brown 750, and then Max Fried 950, Scooble minus 160. So as of right now, both Cy Young Award winners, it's over. The race is over if they stay healthy. The worst record ever to win the Cy Young, I believe, was DeGrom. I think he was like 9.
Carlton? I think it might have been Steve Carlton.
I thought DeGrom was like 9-15. And what had an ERA under 2.
That's a good question. Someone in the chat answer.
Look that up for us. Who had the worst? Because again, it will reiterate the point that wins and losses for pitchers is the single most overrated and nonsense stat in all of sports.
If you've definitely gotten away from weighing it, as much as they did.
Means nothing.
Yeah.
Dodgers are now 575 to win the West. Thanks, Santana.
Thank you, Santana. Thank you, Santana.
Always have to make sure that we read that every day. That's back up to what it was previous, right? That's healthy.
Yeah.
575 is.
Well, it was 8 yesterday. It was 8-1.
It dropped by $3 for one win. They won.
They won. San Diego won, got closer, right? Or stayed the same.
Right.
So something's wrong with Arizona, although they beat the Braves yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Raccoon, does anyone else have a shot? No. As of right now, the markets don't. There's nobody else has a shot to win the Cy Young but those two.
Tough to see it. Again,
it's human beings. So it's the same thing going into it, and we'll talk about it tomorrow, but with the NBA Finals MVP, it's SGA or Halliburton, and that's it. If the Thunder win, SGA is going to win the MVP. If the Pacers win, Halliburton's going to win the MVP. Maybe Siakam, maybe. But that's it. You got 3 options, essentially, and 2 of which could be on the losing team, and then it's 1 option for the MVP, and that's SGA. Just because it's human beings.
Right.
And how they are. Parlay Skenes and Scooble? Can you parlay futures like that? You can.
So. Yeah.
FanDuel will let you. That's plus 192.
Wow.
If you want to parlay Scooble and Skenes for AL and NL Cy Young.
I mean, as of right now, June 4th, it's really hard to see anyone else winning it.
If staying healthy.
Yeah.
I think if they're healthy, I think that's not bad at all. That's not, I mean, it's not horrible to jump in on that if you want to, if you want to have action on those two pitchers or in those two markets. I don't ever bet those markets. By the way, it's 7-7. Red Sox have tied the game against the Angels. What a barn burner.
It's
live
cute, circus music, man.
The live is 21.5, Dave. It's 7-7, top 5, 21.5 live. Can I interest you in under 21.5 for a Major League Baseball game?
It's something you don't see every day. Wow.
Oh, JR, thank you. No Cy Young winner had ever had a losing record. Felix Hernandez was 13-12. DeGrom was 10-9.
I know Steve Carlton pitched on the Phillies team that he won the Cy Young, and they had a terrible losing record.
The team did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Mike Trout won the MVP on a terrible Angels team.
Right.
So it's happened before.
Right.
As a team perspective, just individually. Oh, Rick Porcello was 11-17.
Wow.
In 2017.
Wow.
Who was he on when he did that? He used to pitch for the Red Sox, but he wasn't on the Red Sox when he did that.
Wasn't that the Tigers? I don't know.
Red Sox, 8-7 Angels now. Okay. So Angels scored. Is it 8-7? Where is it? Are you sure it's 8-7?
Hold on.
You sure? 8-7 Boston.
8-7 Angels.
Yeah,
top
it had to be.
Five.
It's top of 5.
Yeah.
So.
8-7 Angels right now.
My gosh. Red Sox. Because the total went down. It's 20.5. It was 21.5 a second ago. So if it's 8-7, why didn't that go up? Normally, FanDuel's feed it's faster than the TV by a ways. So are you sure you're looking at the right score? I don't know if you're looking at the right score, being 8-7 on that. But I don't know. I wouldn't vote for anybody else besides Skenes and Scooble or bet it for that right now. If they stay healthy, they win it. Like it's kind of that simple.
Right.
If you're a Cub fan, you know this. 4th fastest ever for Crow Armstrong. 15 home runs and 20 steals. Game 61. Kid's having a season.
He sure is.
Ohtani's, I mean, there's no way that Ohtani is not winning the MVP and Judge is winning the MVP in the AL, but he's going to get a lot of votes. Crow Armstrong is going to get attention.
Leads baseball in stolen bases right now with 21. Cubs are rolling. I have this here from MLB. Since the start of play on May 13th, the Cubs are 15-4. That's the best record in baseball, period.
Damn.
They own the Nationals. They've won 9 of 10 against the Nationals dating back to July 18th, 2023. So, I mean, what is that number today?
It's cheap today, too. 134.
That's because it's against Gore.
Gore, right. Best pitcher.
Ooh. I don't know. That gave me pause.
No, he's not. He's. I think he played too many games, Rincon, last year when he came up from the Cubs. I don't think
know any of that stuff.
I don't think he's.
Oh, you froze. Hold on. Pause. Snap it.
We're back.
Now.
I don't think he's considered a rookie. He's a second-year player.
Mm.
So he's in the MVP conversation, not the Rookie of the Year conversation in the National League.
Okay.
Ohtani light, I wouldn't go that far, but he's really good. He's really good. He's fun to watch, and he is part of this, new look Cubs team that can hurt you offensively. They got a lineup.
He's the only guy in baseball right now on pace for 40-40.
Oh, well, not Ohtani?
No. Steals are down.
Wow, he's not going to hit 40 steals after getting 50 last year?
I saw that yesterday. I got to confirm. Let's just double check that. Yeah, I think that I got it yesterday off one of the shows. So
wow.
Yeah.
Let's see for Ohtani. How many steals does Ohtani currently have? Ohtani has, wow, that's true. His stolen bases are way down. 11.
Okay. Yeah.
He has 11 steals. Crow Armstrong's got 21, like you mentioned. So he's tied for Luis Robert for the Major League Baseball lead at 21. O'Neill Cruz has 20. Bobby Witt Jr. has 20. 11 for Ohtani.
Okay.
That's interesting. We'll have more on Ohtani during Ohtani Watch later in the program, but that's interesting. Only 11. So, and we're here into June. So he is on pace for like 35?
30. Yeah, just between 30 and 35, right?
Huh.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? More home runs?
A little bit of that, yeah. And I don't know, the guys behind him are hitting, right? I don't think he has to steal as much. Maybe he's getting caught a little bit more too, right?
Or they're holding him on more?
That he may be running less, but I think he's gotten thrown out more so far this season than he did almost all of last season. So might be something to that too. I don't know. Rick Cohen's already talking about trading Mitch Keller. Yeah, no doubt. It'll be between the Red Sox and the Pirates, our teams. There'll probably be pilfered.
I don't know
if this goes the way it keeps going.
Yeah, if the Red Sox keep going where they're going, I think they're going to trade everyone that can be traded and bring the kids up. But that's not what Alex Cora is saying. I mean, he went public, yesterday, bashed the team for the loss to the Angels. So I don't think the Red Sox are looking at getting rid of a bunch of their talent, but Chapman's on the block. Duran could be on the block. Others could equally. Trevor Story, if anybody would take the contract. There's others that could be traded from the Red Sox for sure. I don't know about the Pirates because, they aren't going to trade McCutchen, are they?
I don't know. I don't think so. But
I don't think they move McCutchen, right? I mean, that's the guy. I mean, you're not moving O'Neill Cruz, so McCutchen would be the trade target. Obviously, he'd be the veteran that you look to move.
There's a buzz about moving Reynolds already, and he's got a long-term deal that's both club friendly and he's happy with.
I know that's one of the guys you build around. That's Reynolds and Cruz are those are the three: Reynolds, Cruz, Skenes. Don't touch anybody. They're untouchable.
Right. Yeah.
Everybody else, fine, move them. But that's the next 5 seasons of Pirates baseball. You can't trade that guy.
Yeah.
That deal is incredibly team friendly for what he's potentially going to do production wise. JR went and did some research on the Carlton.
Look at that. When Steve Carlton won the Cy Young Award, he was 27-10 with a 1.97 ERA.
With the Phillies
in 1972, but the Phillies were 59-97. I mean, that's unbelievable.
Bad.
That's unbelievable. And then these other years here. Thank you, Johnny Parlay. That's really good information. 23-10, 2.64 ERA in 1977, but the Phils won 101 games. He also won in 80 and 82. Phils won the World Series in 80 and the second in the East in 82.
Very cool.
Thank you.
We can say it to Jared now that he's watching.
Right.
Oilers in 7. Congratulations on being a new dad.
Congratulations, Jared. That's awesome news.
Congratulations for
Watching
sure.
game 1 from the hospital with the newest brigade member. She's got the Oilers in 7.
A lot of folks with the Oilers in 7. That takes us into the conversation. The Action Network's Evan Abrams. Guy does amazing work. Put together an unbelievable preview for the Cup Finals. Favorites are 18-4 in the Cup Finals, 11-2 over the last 13 years, 5 straight times. The team favored before game 1 has won the Cup. Edmonton is favored to win the series.
Small favorite, though. I feel like the favorites are 18-4. There had to be bigger favorites. I remember
100%.
minus 140, 50, 60. Not too many times is it minus 180 or minus 200, but it was always when we did the numbers, the home team was usually minus 150 or more.
Okay.
Because they had to, that home ice was so powerful back in the day. 5 straight. Jeez. So is it a wrap? I mean, is it the history
History's
just
on
says
the
that
side.
this is Edmonton?
Well, Panthers being a dog in this series is pretty interesting too. They are just the fourth team to be a dog in either year of a team trying to go back to back. The 97 Red Wings against your Penguins were dogs in the first leg of their back to back in 97-98. They were minus 330 favorites the next year.
2008, 2009 was the Penguins. 97, 98 was not. The Red Wings was against someone else.
According to Evan, it was your team, no?
No, Panthers. I think it was the Panthers in 97.
The Red Wings played the Panthers in the Cup Finals?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
They did?
Double check it.
Are you
the Penguins,
really?
The Penguins weren't in the finals in 97 and 98. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me pull this up. Let's see. So how it reads is this. Here's what the Panthers are trying to do. One word, repeat. In the NHL, repeating isn't as rare as it is in other sports. It has happened twice since 2016 and 5 times in total over the past 40 years. The Lightning were the last team to repeat in 2021. With the Panthers being listed as the series underdog this year after winning it all, they would join just the Red Wings in 97 and 98 as being an underdog in either Stanley Cup final going for a repeat. Detroit was plus 115 in 97 against the Penguins before being massive favorites at minus 330 a year later. So that was not against the Penguins in 97?
No, they played Philly and Washington. Linus Krimitz just came in a chat and said.
Okay. So that was, maybe it's 2007, not 1997?
08 and 09 was the years that they played the Penguins back to back. I was in Vegas for those because I was in Curacao in 97. I remember it was not the Penguins. It was Detroit and Philly.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Bad memories. We should have had that one.
Yeah.
He's got the years wrong. Okay.
Yeah.
So Price is right. Years are wrong with that.
Right.
But regardless, they're dogs.
Yeah.
And it's not likely. It's a unique situation for a team trying to go back to back to be an underdog in either leg of the Cup Finals. Because as we said, the favorite has won 5 in a row and 11 of 13, the team that's been favored. So it's rare to see a dog win the Cup Finals over the last 22 years. Here's a crazy stat too. And this is something to keep in mind. If we get a 2-0 lead or a 2-goal lead at any point in any game of this series for the Florida Panthers, over the last 2 years, they are 23-0 in a playoff game with a 2-goal lead.
How good is that?
Holy crap.
That's really good. Really good. One of those situations where, that's good in-game information, right? Kind of, I don't want to say lock it up, but when they get that 2-goal lead, you can just put that in. And
well, I think it matters too for the total because we'll get the better to book it in a second, but if we're going for a high scoring game, if it goes 2-0 early Florida, that's it. They'll sit on it. The game's going to go under. They're going to sit on it, play defense, and they're going to win. They don't give up 2-goal leads. So they're not going to put themselves into bad positions. And sure, they can go score 4 or 5, 6 goals themselves. But generally speaking, in a cup final situation, they're not going to do that. So
right.
I very interesting stat. Definitely something to watch.
Again, it's the whole series is going to come down to goaltending for me. I've been saying it now for a couple of days, and now we finally get to watch the games. The side is impossible. I just don't. After looking at everything and getting ready for the show and looking at other stuff today, I was like, man, I still don't know. I know who I like, but I don't feel definitive enough to go, you know what? I'm going to go put a significant wager on this. I think it's going 6 or 7 games. I started to look at,
it's really expensive to bet over 5.5 or 6.5 games. Books are making you pay.
I looked at exact result, Edmonton in 5 or Edmonton in 6 and Edmonton in 7, or Florida in 6 and Florida in 7, trying to come up with a price. mean, it's 5-1 plus 480. For those. So you got some wiggle room. Florida game 1 in series LL. Wow. I don't know. Why does Florida win tonight?
If I had to bet it, and I'm not, but if I did, I would bet Edmonton
tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I gotta believe the Stuart Skinner we saw against Dallas is not the real Stuart Skinner. So I'm expecting the real Stuart, because this guy in game 1, 2, and 3 of playoff series, it's a sieve.
Okay.
He's great in 4, 5, 6, and 7. But he was great the whole series against Dallas. Game 1 was his worst performance, 6-3 loss. After that, he was unbelievable for Edmonton. Just not a big believer in him. I'm just not a big believer that he's. I just think he's going to give up a bunch of goals tonight.
Right.
And I think Bobrovsky's a better goaltender.
A lot of times for me, this long layoff, I would say, leads to sloppy hockey. Everybody's fresh.
Yep.
They're flying, but the game goes under because no plays get finished. So that was my thinking going into today. So I'm leaning under right now. I didn't look for what we got coming up and better book it or anything like that, so I don't know. But the total 6.
6.5
over minus 130 on 6s and 6.5
is
minus 120 under.
DK went to 6.5.
Yeah.
Last night. They may still be there now, but
they
were the first ones to go to 6.5 last night.
Yes. Everyone else is painted 6. There's a couple offshores that are 6.5.
Yeah, Vegas is making you pay the price for 6 to bet over 6 tonight.
Yeah. So I don't know. Boys, girls, whoever's watching the show, put your final score of game 1 right now in the chat.
It was 6-5, 4-3 in the regular season. Both games went over.
Eron Sean 4-3 oil spills. Wow.
I can't see the game.
The regular season games were in December and
I would agree.
February, right?
But this is Edmonton. This is the way they play, and I just think wide open is all they know. And I'm not buying Skinner. 4-2 Edmonton. I could see that.
4-2 Edmonton.
It's a push on 6.
4th, yeah.
5-2
Edmonton. Garby. Okay.
Open net. 5-3 Panthers. 3-1 Oilers. Wow. 5-3 on the way, or another open netter, possibly 6-3, 5-3. Yep. 5-2 Florida. 3-2 Florida.
Wow. Football Guy 97 is the first guy that said Florida.
No, JC said Florida.
Oh, JC. Okay.
He liked Florida too. Ish is 4-3 Florida.
4-3 Florida. Ish
5-3 Panthers. Here comes the Panthers stuff.
Right? Yeah.
Florida.
I think Florida wins an under game. I think Edmonton wins an over game.
Fair.
That's kind of the way.
Yeah. So I'm leaning Oilers to win game 1. I think first period. I think over in the first period is not a horrible play. 1-1. Okay. I think there's going to be extreme intensity in the first 5 minutes of that game. I mean, that building is going to be shaking. It's going to be awesome to see.
For those of you that don't remember, last year, the same matchup, Florida won the first 3 games. Edmonton won the next 3 when they were down 3-0 and then got to game 7. Connor McDavid won the Conn Smythe
losing
on the losing team. The Conn Smythe bet, I mean, it's even money now for McDavid, so there's no value. But, he's going to win it if they win it. I still think Bobrovsky wins it for Florida if they win it.
All right, Eric, you can play producer. I like this addition to the rundown. Let's put it in because this is a good question, because I've seen a lot of this small market, bid market bullshit. 3 of the 4 teams in the NBA and the NHL finals are coming from small markets. How does that shift affect betting handle and fan engagement from a bookmaker's perspective?
Number one, you just want more games. If the worst thing that could happen for NBA is like a sweep. Nobody wants to see a sweep. The executives don't want to see a sweep.
They're getting a 4-1 though.
Right. Like in the bookmakers,
Sorry.
the books are like, man, give us 6 or 7 games, so we can at least build something up, maybe, catch something in game 5 or 6 once, we have established. But that really is a good question. Handle's going to be down.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Even in Vegas?
Oh, yeah. NBA Finals? Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. I think it will
I'm
be.
surprised to hear you say that.
Yep.
Because I don't give a flip. I don't care where they're playing from in terms of market size.
Well, I just think in general, there's less people making an
Casuals, you
appointment.
mean?
Yeah, to bet it.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, the diehards are going to bet it anyway.
Right. I mean, I don't care
People
who's
like
in it. I'm
basketball,
betting it.
right.
I'm betting it anyway. Like, look, I don't care where they're from. I just care about the games themselves. And like Indiana, Indianapolis, Oklahoma City. I mean, those are separated by a 12-hour drive in the middle of part of the country. They're very small markets. Both of them would be considered mid-sized, media markets.
Mhm.
So you don't have any major markets in this. And then from a hockey perspective, you really can't get two cities farther apart than Edmonton, Alberta, and Sunrise, Florida. Like we're talking massive amounts of land between the two sides. And they are both although you do have the Miami market for the Panthers, they don't care about hockey. So you've got a smaller audience size there. And it's a Canadian team. It's McDavid, but you have the whole country of Canada. But how much of the U.S. market's going to be paying attention to the Cup final? It's probably not that large. But I'm surprised that the gambling handle is going to be affected by that.
Yeah.
That's interesting to me.
I think a lot of times you get big handle coming in like for the finals to offset maybe future positions or add to different things. There's not many future tickets on the Indiana Pacers. There really isn't.
Right.
Florida and Edmonton were both favorites during the season. So I think that, there's probably good positions for books there. There's no gambling in the state of Oklahoma.
So
whether that matters or not, I don't know. At least
matter at all.
Indiana's going to have a nice boost.
It's like saying people in Texas don't bet. Like,
well, yeah, but
yes, they do.
in a legal market.
Yes, fine, but they bet heavy.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll go out Thursday night, check it out, and go to the books and see if anybody's there watching it or betting it. That's how I get a feel for a lot of it now, because I'm not behind the counter anymore.
Right.
Is go out in the books and see, during the games, if there's people out. But I mean, everything's mobile now, so that's not even a good indicator anymore.
Fair.
The world is evolving so fast that
and these thunderstorms,
the numbers.
These thunderstorms are knocking out the power of these books. I mean, Durango last night got knocked out.
Oh yeah.
All of their slot machines got knocked out last night due to the thunderstorms that we have here in the market. Yeah. So they were on crisis mode yesterday, trying to fix what was going on internally. So that kind of cleared out the entire casino when they don't have power. So it's a great question, Eric, because I've seen this a lot recently in the last 48 hours about small market teams. Nobody cares. No one's going to watch. And this is boring. And both the NBA and the NHL, they're in crisis mode from a PR standpoint, trying to generate storylines and interest because these cities don't have the same population bases of the others that have been in it previously. I don't know. Again, the hockey is going to be better than the NBA finals. Like, it's just, I don't expect we're going to see a long series. I don't think it's going to be very competitive. I hope I'm wrong. Right. I know the NHL final is going to be wild. Even if it's over quick, it's going to be competitive. Every game's going to be intense. Both markets are going to be just on tilt for every home game that they have.
Yeah.
So,
I again, from a hoop head standpoint, should be a really good series. It should be really fun. Hopefully the totals live up to the billing. We get some overs.
If you had to pick a winner tonight, who wins?
The hockey?
Yeah.
The series?
No, game one.
I think Florida's live to win a game. I really think Florida's live to win a game.
And if you in this, let me throw this because you always ask me this question, so I'll say it at you. Is it better to bet Florida win the series or Florida win game one? If you think Florida wins game one, their price is going to change dramatically tomorrow.
If you think Florida's going to win game one, the price is going to change dramatically. I don't think it's going to change as dramatically as you think.
If Florida's up 1-0, they're not dogs. They're favored.
No. They're going to go to small favorites.
Right. But
that's going to flip.
Plus money is going to be gone.
On Florida, yes.
Yeah. So if you like Florida to win game one, shouldn't you bet them to win the series?
If you think they're going to win a series, yes. Absolutely, you should. And I would consider them winning in game 6 at home to be the best price of all of them as far as getting that position. And because I think it's going 6 or 7 games. But them winning, they're not going to go to minus 150. You know what I mean? It's going to flip small because I really think this screams split to me. Edmonton wins 1, I think Florida wins 2. Florida wins 1, I think Edmonton wins 2. I really do. I don't think one team wins both games at all. Now, that's prior to seeing anything tonight.
What about this prediction? Nobody wins 2 in a row in the whole series.
I really think that is possible, One Star. I really think that is possible because I think they split 1 and 2, and I think they split 3 and 4. Whoever wins game 5 could win it in 6, but man, this thing, I said it over and over and over. I think it goes 6 or 7. So that's not, I don't know. That's not that bad of a prediction. Yeah.
See what happens. That's an interesting market to jump into. If a book has that up, that's an interesting way to look at it. Yeah. Bet it or book it time starts with hockey. Oilers and the Panthers over 6 is the first bet for better to book it tonight. I think there's a good push potential here. When I get 6, I like to fire on the over of this because it feels like a free bet in some ways because it's either a push or it's going to be a win. If I get an open net, 4-3, 5-2 final. I don't think it's 6-1. I don't think we see a blowout either side, but could be a 4-3 final here. Better to book it over 6.
I'll take the book guy stand on this and say book it. And, because now you're laying a big juice on the over 6. And I think it could very well push. I mean, the number's perfect. This is exactly what it's supposed to be. 4-2 is very, very possible. That gets you the empty netter. The problem with taking my side is multiple empty netters. If it's, 2-2, they score 3-2, and then they get an empty netter 4-2, and then they get another empty netter, it's 5-2, like in land 7, and you're sick because you had it and you didn't.
That feels, not that I feel guilty about cashing tickets, but it feels wrong. When that happens, it's like, okay, that should not have happened. Like, I just got very fortunate to get the over on that because the goalie got pulled with 4 minutes to go.
Right.
And they're playing, they're just going to go ahead and go after it because it's game 1. If you lose game 1, so what? You lose it 5-2 or 4-2. What the hell's the difference? A loss is a loss. So you go ahead and do that. I think it's 1-1, 2-2, 3-2, and then do we get the tying goal where really that one goal is worth 2 goals because it's 4-3 for the final. So that's how I feel like this game's going to go. And I think it's going to be 3-2 in the third period, one way or the other. And we'll see if we get the open net or do we get the game tire to go to overtime. If we get the game tying goal, we're hitting the over. If we get the open net, we're going to push.
Right.
That's how I bet it. That's how I played it out as to how it would go. First period under. See, I think first period over, but I haven't bet it. But I like 1-1 after 1.
Well, that's a tough call, Rincon. I don't know. I the first period is so it's so random after all this time off. Like I feel like I'll have a much better feel for how the lines are going to match up, what Maurice is going to do to put lines out and what Edmonton's going to do to match it in Edmonton. I got to see who McDavid's playing against. I got to see what they're doing. to get a real feel for like how this is going to go offensively, defensively, whatever. And then the X factor Skinner.
Right.
We'll see.
To see where he goes with that.
Yeah.
A's Twins over 9.5.
How's
This
this
is-
not a bet?
This is a fade on Jeffrey Springs, who went 2 innings, gave up 6 earned runs in his last start on the road against the Toronto Blue Jays in an 11-7 loss on the road. I don't think Jeffrey Springs. If you don't like this, bet the team total for Twins over. If you're worried about the A's offense tonight, but they'll score 3 or 4 themselves. And Zebby Matthews is going for the Twins. 0-1 with a 6.43 ERA. On the road, he has a 7.2 ERA, 0-1 with a 282 opposing batting average.
Okay.
Over.
It
Win.
It has to be. This is all like what they're doing is historical from a franchise record. Did you see this?
Who?
The A's. They've given up 8+ runs in 6 consecutive games. This ties a dubious franchise record set by the 1936 Philadelphia Athletics.
It would be great if you read the things I put up on the screen.
I did. I'm reading it on my notes too. That team went 53 and 100. 53 and 100.
Yep. 1936 A's were pretty bad. 1943 A's were pretty bad too. So, I mean, if you want to bet a streak, you're not going to get a better streak than 1 in 19, which is what the A's currently are over the last 20 games.
Boy, I feel like you just leave this on the table if you don't bet this.
I bet the first 2 games over. I blindly bet it. I didn't even handicap it yesterday. I just bet it. I bet over 10. I was like 10. Oh yeah, sure. Over. Same thing. I bet every over in the Blue Jays game. I've bet run line against the A's as well. I didn't do it last night, but I've bet it in a lot of these games as well. So it's not just over, it's run line on top of that. They're losing by an average of 4.85 a game.
Yeah.
Over the 20-game stretch, they've lost by an average of 4.85 runs.
Yeah, it's a GPP play, general principle play, Joe C. Myers. You're right. The other thing, too, what you do with the totals, and we've talked about this, as we approach show number 800.
Yep.
I guarantee I've said this before. Guys that bet baseball that do it for blood, for a living, they'd rather lay 115 over the total than lay 190 on the money line on the Twins. If you're getting these consistent results. So, because if you get caught, I mean, that's another one there. Ish 165. The way the Twins are hitting, this is not a bad bet. Don't go laying 150 on a team total, but I think you can lay up to 130 a lot of times, especially against really bad starting staffs and relievers, which the A's are.
Their bullpen sucks.
Terrible.
Yep. They have the worst ERA in baseball. Pitching staff, worst ERA, last in Major League Baseball. And as we talked about earlier, the numbers are insane. They've been outscored by 97 runs in the last 20 games. Like, that's just the last 6 games. They've given up 59 runs in their last 6 games. So the Twins and the Blue Jays. This is batting practice. I mean, the A's are throwing glorified batting practice right now. Right. On the other side, the Giants and the Padres can't score either one.
Nope.
Under 7.5. Down to 7 now. But these 2 teams don't score anymore.
No, they played extra innings both nights, last 2 nights, and didn't get there.
Both games went under.
Both games went under. Let me double check, see what I got here for this one. Wow. San Diego's won 7 straight games versus Giants. 3 of them are shutouts.
Mm-hmm.
9 of 10 against the NL West this season.
And it's Pavetta. And Pavetta pitches today for San Diego.
Pavetta.
But the kid the Giants are throwing is not horrible. He's going to go 1 time through the order. And he's not horrible. Pod just can't hit anyway.
Giants have scored 4 runs or fewer in 16 consecutive games. The only longer streaks in franchise history occurred in 1902 and 1965. Both of those were 19-game streaks. Pavetta's road ERA 4.32.
Yep. But the Giants can't hit.
Versus his 1.69 ERA at home.
Big difference. Yep. But it's the Giants who can't hit. So
under.
It's 7 now, but I have 7.5.
7 we could push. We get plus money on under 7. I think that's a bet too.
Under 7. Okay.
Yep.
We'll watch it on that.
Yep.
Let's go. Prop bet of the day. I'm 0-2 this week on my prop bet of the day. I got to pick it up here. It's not been a great week for me on this. Oh, where is that? There. All right. I'm going to go a little bit off the beaten path on this only because I'm betting the over in the game, but I'm going to take Bobrovsky over 24.5 saves tonight. I think a lot of shots are going to come from Edmonton, most likely early. And I think Bob's going to be on his game. Over 24.5 saves for Bobrovsky.
Problem with this one is if Florida gets a lead and starts diving in front of pucks and blocks a bunch of shots and it goes under. But if we get the over, which you were thinking, you should get over 24.5 saves. So that's the argument for both sides. I don't know if I really like one side or the other right now with this. My slight, if I got to take a position, I think over. So I'll say this is probably a bet. But that's going to be close because Edmonton could go a period with like 6 shots on goal.
You have to think it's McDavid. It's game 1. It's at home. They may call more power plays because it's game 1. Set the tone a little bit. Referees like to kind of in the early part of Cup Finals, they like to kind of insert themselves and then they back off. As the series goes, you'll see less and less power plays. So you'll see more power plays tonight than what you'll see later in the series. Thus, more opportunities, more odd man rushes.
Oh, pause, freeze, snap it back right now.
More on Bob. Bob over 24.5 saves for our play of the day for tonight. Time to take a look at Ohtani. Ohtani watch.
I almost want to put on just like the Ohtani watch.
Double hat.
Yeah, I'm going to do
double hat.
We
edited it off, but that was double hat for Ohtani when he went from the Angels to the Dodgers.
Right. There we go.
Ohtani is not going to pitch until August at the earliest. Bob Nightingale coming out reporting that. Well, let me ask you this. I'm going to bring it up because why have him pitch at all then? Like why? Like just don't have him pitch. You don't need him to be worried about pitching if you aren't going to pitch him until August.
Why pitch him? One, he wants to. That's, I think, I mean, and what Ohtani wants, Ohtani gets, seems like, in La La Land.
Gorov likes your hats.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
He's going to be a closer in the playoffs. You can't ask him to do that.
I don't think so, Eric. I don't know.
You can't have him close games. Hey, by the way, here's the most high leverage of situations. Here's the ball. Go ahead. Like, I don't think you can do that.
If anybody could do it, this guy could. I mean, I feel like he could do anything. But
it's not Little League.
If they keep saying it, it's also in everyone else's mind. The Phillies are going like, guys, this guy's going to come back and pitch too. I mean, I don't know. This made the rundown today. I read the article and I went, finally, like somebody's saying it till August. Well, that only leaves August and September. So
if it's in August, it might be at the end of August. Like it don't even at the earliest.
Correct.
He goes in August. So it could be September. And then I don't know why you do it. What's the point?
Yeah. Jay-Z from KC said he ain't pitching.
I agree. I don't think he's pitching. I think this is just a bunch of like, I don't know. It feels like the team is just making their opponents wonder. Like, we might do it. He might pitch. He might pitch. And then he's never actually going to pitch. Like, they're never actually seriously going to put him in a game.
Right.
Unless they're like, I don't know, like they have to or something. They have to figure it out. Because again, we talked about this earlier. where do you send him to rehab or have his spot start or his, rehab start? Like what? Not sending him a AAA. Take over the whole damn ballpark. Could you imagine if he was sent here? Like the Dodgers are playing and, the AAA team's playing here against the Aviators, what that ballpark would look like if you had Ohtani pitching.
Wow.
It'd be insanity.
Would be fantastic.
Tickets would be like $400 in the secondary market to go watch him pitch.
Right.
It'd be unbelievable.
I'll ask you guys in the chat right now, and we'll ask this probably multiple times between now and then. And we'll have an announcement ourselves here, sometime at the end of June for, what we might be doing in August. But will Ohtani pitch in August? Yes or no? I will say no.
I don't think he's pitching this season.
I say no, he ain't pitching in August.
I think this is all just them playing with this, having fun with this. I think Dave Roberts is probably finding this fun to like float this out there. Like, oh, he's pitching. Oh, he's got to live hitters. Oh, no, not till August, but it could be August. Well, actually, no, not until the earliest. It might be August. I think it's like giving baseball scribes something to write about.
Joe Mogan said no. Eron Sean, Big Red X. Dodgers do need pitching. He's not pitching.
There's a Dodger fan. I agree. I don't think he's pitching. Ken Garcia says pitching.
Pitching. Santana, I think so. I don't know, boys. I don't think so. The Dodgers are only up a couple games right now, right?
Oh yeah, they're not running away with it at all. They're in the thick of it right now.
Pitching at some point, 1 star. You're a Dodger fan.
Red Sox tied it up, by the way, in the bottom of the 7th. It's 8-8 with 2 outs in top of the 8th inning. My gosh, bad pitching on both sides. Holy Christmas. Soriano gave up 7 earned in 3 2/3. Giolito gave up 7 earned in 1 2/3. Great starting pitching in baseball today. 7-6-4-3. The Red Sox keep on losing 1-run games. If they lose another 1-run game today and get swept at home by the Angels, oh no.
Worst record in baseball in 1-run games.
Yep. And it's going to be, and Red Sox fans pride themselves. That's like one of those stats where Red Sox fans actually care. Like that's a stat that shows your quality of your team. And so Red Sox having a record in 1-run games of 6-17, people are paying attention to that. That gets you fired. Like, as a manager, that can get you fired in Boston for going 6-17 because that's 1 or 2 decisions that's leading you to lose those games like that.
I hope under 21.5 is still good in that game.
In the 7th? Yeah, 16, 5 runs. I don't know. Oh boy, I don't know. We'll see. That could be a sweat. I mean, heck,
right now is 18.5.
I lost my 9 under 9 Milwaukee and the Reds today. Like 3 runs in the top of the 9th inning. So who knows? You could just see, some bad situations. But yes, I do think you're probably good on that with 21.5. You're probably good on that with the Red Sox. But again, as we've seen so far today, baseball sometimes can be absolutely ridiculous.
Yep.
Time now for the news of the industry. So this story is being reported by ESPN.com's our friend David Perrault is reporting that FanDuel has banned a bettor for heckling a track star at an event here in America in which he claims goes by the handle on Twitter. His name is not there, but he goes by Mr. 100K a day, where he described himself as the track and field bully. He went to this event and he heckled Olympic gold medalist Gabby Thomas at a track event. The Grand Slam track event said in a statement that it's conducting a full investigation into the reprehensible behavior captured on video. We are working to identify the individual involved and will take appropriate action as necessary. We will implement additional safeguards to help prevent incidents like this in the future. Let us be clear. Despicable behavior like this will not be tolerated. Gabby Thomas said after the race that a man had followed her around the track and insulted her at the event. The unidentified man has now been banned from FanDuel because he had a parlay that hit thanks to Gabby not winning. He had sent a screenshot of a $1,000 parlay bet on FanDuel ahead of the event, fading Thomas, saying, quote, I made Gabby lose by heckling her, and it made my parlay win. And now he has been banned by FanDuel from betting at the event, or at their book, rather, for what happened at the event.
A lot of back and forth on the socials about this. Like, this isn't the first time this has gone on. So why did they just decide to ban this guy?
Because it's track.
Because it's track, you think?
I think because it's a sport that you don't normally see this stuff happening at.
Oh,
A heckler at a baseball game is par for the course.
right.
A heckler at a football game is par for the course. A
Right.
heckler at a track event, that's why this is news.
And he told everybody about it.
But people do that all the time on social media about
They brag about that?
the content space. You know this. The content space is a cesspool.
It's terrible.
People say and do dumb things all the time. They take video of themselves harassing athletes and harassing players and family of players. I mean, our friend Trista Crick went to the UFC event here in town, and there was a wag, a girlfriend of one of the fighters behind her, and she was videotaping as the girl was screaming, and the girl hit her in the head. The girl
Hit Trista?
pushed her in the head because she was taping her while she was yelling at the referee at the fight.
Oh,
She was from, I don't know where she was from, not America. She was yelling in a foreign language. And like Trista was like, she had her phone and she was like videotaping, going like making faces, and the woman saw it and she pushed her head. So like this stuff happens all the time. Like this is sporting events now in terms of like heckling and what's going on in the content space and what's going on with influencers, and you know, it's everything now. It's everywhere. But I think the reason why FanDuel is paying attention, or at least why this is being written about by David Payne Purnham and why ESPN.com has a front page story about this, is because it happened at a track and field event.
right.
It's not somewhere where you expect to see somebody harassing an athlete to the point where the athlete doesn't perform properly, and then the person claims responsibility for throwing her off her game.
I don't know when it became even acceptable to try to do that. That's the thing that really, like, you know, I don't get. And because you want to bet, you're going to brag about it.
Right.
Like,
And what did he say too? I think what he said, we don't know. I think that's a relevant factor here. What did he say to her?
Well,
Like, how negative was he? Like, what did, like, how harassing was he? Just like, you suck, or did he go personal, or did he go with more egregious language?
good question here from CBW. Is it all good if the parlay lost? I mean,
FanDuel doesn't ban him.
right?
FanDuel keeps his money. They don't ban him. FanDuel said in a statement that, quote, FanDuel condemns in the strongest terms abusive behavior directed towards athletes. Threatening or harassing athletes is unacceptable and has no place in sports. This customer is no longer able to wager with FanDuel.
Yeah. Again, you have to do something when you know, as the book.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just like go, well, they made the bet and, you know, we're completely resolving ourselves from all of this, because it's getting very personal. It's getting very, very too close.
Yeah, American sports fans' behavior is getting to be unacceptable when it comes to this. And again, we talked about it yesterday with the Lance McCullers situation. That was an overseas person. That was not actually somebody in America who was writing threats that caused the Astros to hire security for Lance McCullers and his family. But gambling right now, we have talked about this since this show began, that these are the stories that get shown on congressional highlight reels for reasons why they should be banning gambling. Like, you want to talk about what type of poster child stories pop up on Capitol Hill? This would be prime example number one.
Or they use this and they go, you know what? This is what this causes. So we're going to raise the tax rates on them now. You know, right? We're going to make
How's
them
that
pay.
fair?
It's not fair, but that's like, you know.
Ooh, good question, CBW. Does that open the door for FanDuel to ban any winner that brags that he distracted an athlete? Could that become part of the house rules? If you had a direct influence on the performance of the athlete that you bet against? We're going to avoid you're the book, right? Your house rules, right?
I don't know how you would prove that.
Do you have to prove it if you're
put
FanDuel?
it in there? Well, I mean, if you put it in the house rules and then get held to a standard of having a hearing or gaming or something, you probably do. But I mean, books take liberties all the time on saying, well, it's in the house rules. And then people just go, oh, okay, I guess it is. And they just accept it. You know, I've seen that used for various things that I'm not saying anything specific right now, but it wasn't in the house rules. But that was the answer. And then that was the thing that sufficed.
What's the
You
line?
can't wave your arm sitting behind the basket of a guy shooting a free throw.
I mean, here
That's where you start to draw the line. What do you do?
have you seen the guys for Stadium that are doing the first missed shot for Angel Reese? Have you seen those videos?
Yeah.
It might be the best thing on the internet right now. I'm dead serious. So these guys, these four friends, are betting on Angel Reese to miss her first shot of the game. And they're betting like $300 or $400 every time. And they're sweating it out together, watching it with a live stream audience. What if they were at the game and they were yelling at Angel Reese to miss her first shot? Is that allowed? Could you do that? Because by this account, they're saying you can't do that.
I was going to say, like, what are you using to measure it now? I don't know.
If you make a bet and you have a running gag going where I'm betting against Angel Reese, and all of a sudden, I don't know where those kids are located, but say they're located in like DC,
Chicago.
Okay? Well, that's where the Sky play, but like say it's in DC, right? And the Sky come to play the Mystics, and they're in the crowd for the first time. They're watching it live, and they're screaming at Angel Reese to miss her first shot, and she misses it. Does the book have the chance to say, sorry, we're not paying that out because you influenced it?
Oh,
We knew what you were doing. You went there with the intention to bet against it, to then go and heckle the athlete so the athlete missed the shot. Thus, you win the wager, but you had a hand in how the wager was missed.
wow. I'm thinking from a book standpoint. How do you? There's so many steps. Who are these guys? Do they have accounts? Did they bet? Who bet it? How much did they bet it for? Is it? You know, I don't know. I don't know. That's the whole thing. Is just
It's
opening
dangerous.
Pandora's box, Johnny. I don't know. It's opening a whole bunch of things.
Yeah, it's just it's a wild point though to say like, can the book start to pass rules, house rules, about the behavior of athletes and who gets to wager? They paid the bet out by what I'm reading. I think FanDuel paid the bet, and then after the fact, kicked him out.
Yeah.
So he got his money,
Right.
but then they said you're no longer able to bet here. Do you know this? If FanDuel kicks a guy out, does that 86 carry over to any other book or just to that one book? Because how would the other book know the identity of that said gambler? Do books share that information? Are they allowed to?
Yes.
That's legal to do that.
I
It's a
don't
private
know.
company, right? You have
I don't know
a right
if it's legal or
right
not, but I
to
mean,
take the business or not, right?
Yeah. Yep. I know it's done. I mean, there's companies that, compile lists. There's no question they share it.
The guy might find himself in a little bit of a tricky situation going forward. You won that one parlay, congratulations, but you might have had some difficulty getting down.
I'll just hope you don't mind not betting. It'd be very difficult to get it going with any other books. So,
time for the Brigade Proxy Service NFL story. All right. If you are an Eagles fan, we didn't touch on it yesterday, so we'll touch on it now. Dave, are you concerned at all about the Madden curse? Saquon Barkley is on the cover of Madden 26. Big article today on why Saquon should be worried about the dreaded jinx heading into the 25 season. The Madden curse seems to hit running backs much harder than any other position when they appear on the cover of the most popular football video game ever. Any concerns if you're an Eagle fan on this?
There's probably Eagle fans that are, but you always talk about not being superstitious about certain things.
Yep.
I am superstitious about a lot of things when it comes to the gambling or the sports, or when you start to get hot, you wear the same thing, all this other stuff. This doesn't concern me. I don't think it does. You're worried? You're trying to put it on them?
I don't care one way or the other. Okay. I'm just, to me, I don't care. But when you go down the list, it's not great. In 2001, Eddie George appeared on the cover of Madden, came off of a Super Bowl appearance with the Titans, high expectations. The Titans, they were down 17-10. Steve McNair threw a perfect pass to Eddie George. He bobbled it. That bobble gave Ray Lewis enough time to make a play. He picked the pass off, returned it for a game-sealing touchdown. Ended the year there. In 2003, Marshall Faulk of the Rams, you'll see he had his nosedive started in 2002. That can be said to his age or the fact that he appeared on the cover of Madden. For 4 straight years of rushing for at least 1,300 yards, Faulk didn't even hit the 1,000-yard mark in 2002 after he appeared on the cover of Madden. In 2007, Sean Alexander was named the MVP in 2005, led the league in rushing. The curse got him in 2006. Unfortunately, he broke his left foot in week 3, missed a total of 6 games. After the 2006 season, Alexander would only play 17 more games the rest of his career.
In the league, yeah.
The rest of his career, he would, after being on the cover of Madden. In 2012, Peyton Hillis, remember him?
Yep.
He was on the cover of this because EA Sports let the fans vote for who was going to be on. And somehow the Browns running back, Peyton Hillis, wound up being on top, beat out Michael Vick on this. Although he had an impressive 2010 season with 1,700 yards, 11 touchdowns, he had an injury-filled season the next year after being on the cover, just 587 yards rushing after appearing on the cover. And then in 2014, Adrian Peterson came off of an MVP year in 2012, more than 2,000 yards rushing. There's no way the curse would get him. Yeah, it did. He rushed for just 1,200 yards in 2013, had multiple injuries. He missed 2 games due to a foot injury. And then there was a groin injury after that was repaired by surgery after the season. Didn't get much better in 2014 when he was hit with a season-long suspension for child abuse accusations. And then, one more. Sorry, Christian McCaffrey in 2025. We know what happened with Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah. Not good.
With him being on it, McCaffrey preseason on ice due to Achilles tendon injury, out for the good chunk of the season. He did come back, but not for long. Injured his knee in week 13. Overall, McCaffrey missed 13 games last year after appearing on the cover of Madden. If you're an Eagles fan, you can't be happy about this. This isn't good news.
The cover's so cool, though. It's the jump.
Well, you see how he redid it?
The leap.
Well, he redid it. That wasn't the actual play. They had him shoot it in a green screen.
It's phenomenal.
He jumped higher on the green screen than he did during
Really?
The game itself. Yeah.
Oh my.
The ups he showed was in like he can touch the top of the backboard. He can jump that high. Like he's incredible. Like he's absolutely incredible.
I saw a soundbite from him today too that said, he said he's just going to retire. Like there's going to just come a point where he's just be like, yeah, I'll be cruising. And then I'm just going to say I'm done, like Barry Sanders.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, so like no notice, you mean? He's just going to walk
He's just
in and
going
say,
to
I'm
know
done?
when it's done. He's going to just stop.
I don't hate that. I mean, I don't hate
The boys in the chats, Sharpie_RW said it was a pulley system. Just so you know.
it wasn't him jumping. They pulled him up.
He was attached to a harness. Spoiler alert.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Because I mean, he got up. Like he was like up. Like it was, I was like, holy crap. I didn't see the harness.
The kids everything on here. You guys tell us everything.
That's beautiful. Good. I didn't know that. I just saw the clip of it and I was like, holy crap.
Right.
Does an NFL player who knows he's on the Madden cover get an insurance policy, like a college player who stays in school? Interesting. Could you actually do that? Give yourself an insurance policy based upon appearing on the Madden cover? How does that go? How's that conversation go?
Did they underwrite it? Did they go,
right?
Okay,
right.
You're on the cover.
So
you want $10 million of insurance? Sure. We'll do that. Like what? I don't even know what that means. I don't know.
Yeah. Why would you take it? I mean, I guess unless you can make a case for the other side and say that it's not. You were off when we had this conversation. We have a couple of moments here before we do favorite thing about today. About the college football playoff and what we're looking at. Mm-hmm. Ryan Day has just come out and agreed with the idea that the Big Ten deserves 4 at-large bids in the 5-11 model, where you have 5 automatic qualifiers and 11 teams can get at-large spots.
Okay.
But they want 4 and 4 SEC and 4 Big Ten. Ryan Day has said, we're in the Big Ten and we have 18 teams, some of the best programs in the country. I feel like we deserve at least 4 automatic qualifiers. How they would determine that is they would wind up having 1 and 2 in the championship game. They're in. And then 3 would play 6 and 4 would play 5 for an de facto playoff game to get into the tournament. Iowa would play like Illinois.
Only the Big Ten and the SEC would play those games?
Yeah, to get in that way. But to make it fair, 1v2, 3v6, 4v5 to get in, to have your 4 automatic qualifiers to get into the tournament. So no one's picking it, so there's no controversy.
They really just want to take over everything.
Yes.
Big Ten weekend to play in.
Well, SEC would do the same thing.
Right. That's what I mean. They're going to take over everything. So the Mountain West championship game ain't going to mean nothing.
The winner gets in. The winner gets the automatic qualifier.
I guess, but
so
I mean, it's another day of football. My goodness.
I guess, I'm sorry, they wouldn't get in, right? It has to be a group of 5. There need to be the best group of 5. If a Conference USA team is better, they get in. So no, actually it wouldn't make much net, right? That wouldn't matter. Unless they have a stake for one of the at-large bids, which they probably would, given the problems. But 4 and 4, I thought about it. I hated it in the beginning. It's parity. It's mediocrity. It's awarding a team like the 6th best team in the Big Ten gets into the tournament. Like that's kind of a joke.
By playing their way in.
They would win one game.
Yeah.
We got beat one. Right. They win one game and they get
and then get crushed most likely in the next game.
Crushed. They get steamrolled in the next game. Yes, but they're in. They're part of the tournament. So I don't mind that they're winning their way in. That's better than being selected. But it does have the potential to give you some very interesting teams in that tournament.
Right.
Out of the Big Ten. Some maybe very mediocre Iowa
I
teams.
Guess, they're trying to find a way to guarantee they're getting 4 teams in without any controversy.
Yep.
And then the SEC can't ever let another year like last year happen.
No.
They are never And we talked about it last year on the show. Like, that was fun. The SEC, it just means more. We saw that in Nashville when we were at the tournament. Well, it didn't mean more last year because they didn't get in. And Tennessee had to go to Ohio State and get beat up.
They're still mad. They're still mad.
Georgia got to bye, whatever, but lost to Notre Dame. So, yeah, they ain't never letting that happen again where they get less than other conferences. They're going to get the same or more than every conference.
Favorite thing about today? What is your favorite thing about today, Dave?
My two, I mean, baseball is also my favorite sport, but like my two favorite things are playing for their championships today. Hockey, we got finally Stanley Cup hockey back, and the women's softball starts tonight. Game 1, Texas Tech is playing Texas. It's basically a pick 'em game. Somebody asked me earlier, who do I like? I think Texas Tech.
Oh,
This girl, I can't say her first name right.
Yep,
Jari.
sure.
Kennedy.
You can say it, sure.
372 consecutive pitches. She's carried this team this far. They paid her $1 million to go there. The collective has just said, you know what, we're going to go and go for it. Get the best pitcher. Coach is using her. She's 100% pitching the whole game tonight. So I'll have that on with the hockey. You know, the girls are making plans to, you know, have food and everything. So when I get off Sports Grid, we'll be watching it.
Sweet.
Just fun, one of those fun things that I get to share with the girls. Be fun event. As far as betting it, I'm leaning Texas Tech, but if you guys watch it, good luck. Boston ties it up 9-9.
There we go. Jeez. 21.5. Look out. That under 21.5. It's baseball.
Unreal.
You got to sweat it out now. Speaking of baseball, I've been known to be negative for a time or two, and I've known to be hating on certain new advancements a time or two. So I thought it might be fun to give baseball a little bit of a attaboy, because Front Office Sports detailed this yesterday about what the audience size has been for Major League Baseball. Across the board, baseball is way up in audience. Fox is up 10% compared to last year, with an average of 1.84 million viewers per game. ESPN, despite walking away from the MLB rights deal, is up 22% for their per game coverage on Sunday Night Baseball to 1.74 million. That's the network's best baseball audience since 2017. Wow. In Japan, MLB viewership has grown by 22% to an average of 2.7 million, even when excluding the Tokyo series from March. It's still way up with the crazy time zone. It's a morning game in Japan. Double-digit percentage increases have also been posted for viewership on other platforms like MLB TV and MLB Network. The Tuesday night coverage for TBS is also up double digits right now. Viewership data is drawing an average of 2.7 million viewers in a peak of 3.1 million this past Sunday night on June 1st for the Yankees and the Dodgers. This is a big bump in audience size for television, but it's also a bump in attendance. MLB has seen 1.8% of an increase in attendance so far in 2025, averaging nearly 28,000 fans per game. Look, we rip on commissioners all the time with the pitch clock, which the throwing over to first base, the stepping out in home at home plate, these and having a pitcher come in to pitch for 3 batters, all these changes, the bigger bases, everything that baseball has done. And next year, the system comes. Yep. Did you see that, by the way, yesterday when the guy went like this and the ump tossed him?
The Tampa, yeah.
I was rolling laughing at that. If the kid came up and taps his head to challenge the balls and strikes, and the umpire throws him out of the game.
Hold on, timeout. Yeah, you're going.
Get out.
I don't need that right now. Yeah.
I was like, come on, man, that's funny. Like, come on, you got to laugh at that. Like, that was funny. They threw him out of the game for tapping his head. But that comes next year. We're going to see that system come into play. We're going to see that.
Yeah.
Give baseball an attaboy. They've made some big changes, and things have worked. It's all working for baseball right now.
So far, so good. Keep it up.
Yeah. If you're a Major League Baseball fan, fans are back. Audience size is back. I mean, I think Ohtani deserves, obviously, the Japan stuff. It's Ohtani, but good job out of baseball. They have rebuilt.
Some runs.
I don't think you're going to have much success in that for a while.
Right.
Paul Skenes getting run support. 9-9 still Red Sox. We'll see how that game winds up finishing up. Tomorrow, guys, we are back on a Thursday. Hope to see you all. Game 1 of the NBA Finals. We'll recap Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final tonight. Oilers and the Panthers. He's Dave. I'm Matt. We're back tomorrow for a Thursday's version of BBB.